Hi there. I have a thought for the day. And this, once again, comes from Jane Roberts and the nature of the psyche. She's channeling Seth, and Seth is talking about too much information. So he begins and says, "Good evening. On a conscious level, you could not possibly handle all the information that is available to you on other levels. Information upon which your very physical survival depends. To some extent, then, language operates as a screening device, enabling you to communicate certain data while effectively blocking out other kinds. When you speak a sentence, you do not stop to consider all the rules of grammar. You do not mentally diagram the sentence ahead of time. You simply speak, more or less automatically. And this involves the utmost precision, both mentally and physically. When you experience an event, you do not usually stop then either to examine the rules of perception or to wonder what these are. You simply experience or perceive. Those experienced events, however, are also the result of a screening process. They attain their focus, brilliance, and physical validity because they rise to prominence on the backs of other seemingly unperceived events. In the dream state, you work intimately with the inner grammar of events. In dreams, you find the unspoken sentence and the physically unexperienced act. The skeletons of the inner workings of events are there more obvious. In that dream state, they're more obvious. Actions are not yet fully fleshed out, and the mechanics of your waking psychological behavior are brilliantly delineated. That state can be explored and utilized far more fully than it is and should be. Yet there will always be a veil between the waking and sleeping consciousness, for while you are physical, the waking mind can only deal with so much information. It would simply forget what it cannot hold. Your dreams affect your cellular reality, even as that reality is also largely responsible for the fact that you dream. Dreams are a natural product of cellularly tuned consciousness. As fire gives off light, cellularly tuned consciousness gives off dreams. Such a consciousness is at a state of being in which its reality generates more energy and power than it can physically express in its brilliant intersection with physical reality. And the sparks generated by each instance of its experience cause additional experiences, perceptions that will not fit in the known moment of the present. For by then, in your terms, the present has already vanished into the past. These events and responses continue to operate, however, particularly in the dream state, where they do not intersect directly with full physical experience in the way waking events do. All of these parallel or alternate experiences are then used to construct the physical events that you recognize. Again, you speak a sentence truly so that the end of it comes smoothly, even though when you begin it, you may not have known consciously what you were going to say. Some part of you knew the sentence's beginning and end at once, however. In dreams, you know the beginning and end of events in the same fashion. Any one action in your life is taken in context with all of the other events from your birth to your death. Now it seems to you that because you speak one sentence at a given time, rather than 10 other possible versions of it, the sentence as spoken is the correct one. Its probable variations in grammar or tense or inflection escape you entirely. Yet unconsciously, you may have tried out and discarded all of those, even though you have no memory of doing so. So even in forming sentences, you deal with probabilities, and to some extent or another, your body mimics the various muscular responses that might be involved with each unspoken sentence. Even as you speak your sentence with such fine, conscious nonchalance, inner choices are still being made. As you unconsciously check your communications against events occurring outside you as you speak. So while each action of your life is taken in context with all the other actions of your life until your death, this does not mean that your death is predestined to occur at any given time. As you might change your sentence in the middle from one version to another without ever being consciously aware of it, so you live your life as you work with probabilities. You are the self who speaks the sentence, and you are the self who lives the life. You are larger than the sentence you speak and larger than the life you live. You cannot remember all of the sentences you spoke today. You might have a general idea of what you said. It certainly seems to you that you said one thing at any given time rather than something else. But it also seems that witnesses would back you up. And it certainly seems that waking events are more steady and dependable than dream events. But are they? So as you go through your day today, think about the probabilities that exist all around you, the possibilities, what you could say, what you could think, what you could feel, what you could do, what you could become. Are you doing anything to move yourself into a more advanced state of being? Are you editing out all of the possibilities that you really long for? Think about that and make a great day.